down the lane. Steph, that trail sidestep three, good!
I'm not one to constantly reminisce on old times, but the Warriors really are back yet again. And all it took was one small change, and this team is hitting on all cylinders. They beat the OKC Thunder 127 to 116. It was a very convincing win against a team that is being talked about as the best in the West. Curry went in there on the road in a very hostile environment in a game that all eyes were on and dropped 36 on 7 of 13 shooting from behind the arc. It was a huge bounce back performance by the team after what happened in Cleveland. And in that Cleveland game, man, so many things went wrong. I don't even know where to start. One thing that can be said is that Cleveland was shooting lights out in that first half. There wasn't too much they could do about that, but offensively, they didn't really take care of the ball. They were a little bit sloppy, and Cleveland for sure capitalized on that. I thought Cleveland did a really good job defensively, focusing in on Steph Curry, and then from there, the rest of the Warriors offense was just all out of sorts. Even Buddy Hield wasn't doing anything, and he had been red hot all season long up to that point. Golden State did show some fight in that second half, but it was already too late because the Cavs were up 41 points. And that's just kind of how the NBA works. Whenever there's a big lead, usually the opposing team that's down starts to crawl back in it, and it only ends up being a 15 to 20 point game. And that's exactly what we saw. But the Warriors definitely took that second half momentum into the OKC game, because like I said, they got a huge 11-point win against what was one of the hottest teams in the league. The Chet injury definitely did help them, but nonetheless, OKC is still super talented. This was a tough game no matter what. Curry played phenomenal. He was on the court for most of the game. Melton had 19 points along with 10 rebounds, so a double-double for him, and he also had 3 steals to go with that, and then Wiggins also had 3 steals, so those two combined had 6 steals, and Wiggins had 18 points, 8 rebounds, and 5 assists. The big X factor in this game was Jonothan Kuminga off the bench. He played 26 minutes and had 20 big points along with 5 rebounds, and he was 8 for 11 from the field with a +7 ±. Outside of him, the bench was somewhat productive. Buddy Hield had 8 points along with 5 rebounds and 2 assists, and he was 2 of 5 from behind the arc, and then Gary Payton had 7 points as well. I kind of just realized that I overlooked his stat line too, but Draymond Green had a pretty big game. He was an X factor with 8 points, 4 rebounds, and 11 big assists. He was the distributor in this one offensively. The Warriors really took control of this game in the second quarter thanks to a barrage of threes. They went 9 for 14 from distance in the second, with 3 from Melton and 2 each from Curry and Kuminga. It was beautiful basketball, with the Warriors delivering 12 assists and only turning the ball over twice while getting 3 steals. That is definitely Steve Kerr approved. And Kuminga had 12 points in the third quarter, playing over 11 minutes because he was simply too hot to take out. I know people love to take credit away from Steve Kerr as a coach, even with all his championships, because of all the talent he's gotten to manage over the years, but I still think rotation-wise and feel for the game-wise, he is a good coach. I think he makes really great decisions and just knows how to win. A crucial moment of the game happened when Andrew Wiggins drove for a layup in the first quarter on the Thunder's star sophomore center, Chet Holmgren. His body really is still primarily made of bones, ligaments, and beard hair, and he crumbled to the ground and didn't seem to be able to put any weight on his right leg. It looked like a hip injury, but it was also intense contact. There was no foul called, nor should there have been, but definitely an unfortunate injury for OKC. I hope he recovers fast, but yeah, that was the turning point in this game, and the Warriors took over from there. It was so big because the Thunder were already missing center Isaiah Hartenstein, plus their backup big in Kenrich Williams and Jalen Williams. So that literally meant for stretches in this game, OKC was playing 6'5" Alex Caruso at center. It did take a while for the Warriors to recognize the giant hole in the paint, but then they did put in Kuminga, who's the best paint attacker on the team, and he dominated with those 20 points off the bench. After the 39-point second quarter, the Warriors and especially Steph Curry exploded in the third for even more. Curry went for 17 of the Warriors' 42 points, going 7 of 10 from the field. The team as a whole shot 65%, with 8 different players scoring and the team getting 10 assists. An 8-0 run to start the quarter gave them a 15-point lead. Buddy Hield threw down a dunk to give them a 19-point lead, and after 2 late Kuminga free throws, the Warriors led by 30. Things were going so well that when Wiggins got what looked to be an open dunk blocked, the ball went all the way out to the perimeter for an open Draymond Green 3. And when Draymond is hitting threes, it can be really deflating for an opponent. I thought the Warriors overall played some solid defense, aside from not being able to avoid fouling the Canadian James Harden, Shai Gilgeous-Alexander. SGA finished with 24 points, 12 of them coming from the free throw line after the Warriors reached in, hacked, and occasionally just breathed on him or got pushed by SGA himself, spending the majority of the game in the bonus. Then in the fourth, the Thunder bench blasted the Warriors bench out of the gate. Mainly the team couldn't make a shot, or stop Isaiah Joe, who had 7 points in that fourth quarter. But there were some weird plays. Buddy Hield committed a foul a millisecond before a ball was inbounded, leading to a free throw, and then the 3 from Joe. Kyle Anderson missed a tip-in, Kuminga blocked a shot and forced a jump ball on one possession, and the Thunder still scored. Steve Kerr called timeout to bring in Melton, Wiggins, and Green, and the team promptly committed a 24-second violation. Curry came back in, and the team finally scored on Melton's 4th triple about 4 minutes into the quarter. Then the team missed a pair of tip-ins, sandwiching a Wiggins trip to the foul line, where he missed both shots. Wallace made back-to-back threes for OKC, and suddenly, the Warriors' lead was down to 11 points. Gary Payton and Draymond Green committed offensive fouls on consecutive possessions. Lou Dort fouled Green, but Green hit him in the head, flailing his arms, leading to free throws for SGA after a coach's challenge. It was reminiscent of the game last season against the Cleveland Cavaliers, where Green got ejected for a technical that wasn't called until a replay review. Then Milton threw an inbounds pass that led Alex Caruso perfectly for a breakaway dunk, cutting the lead to 114 to 108. But then the Warriors finally settled down. An alley-oop from Green to Kuminga got an easy dunk, and Curry hit a 3. Gilgeous-Alexander missed one free throw, probably because he was so exhausted from his earlier free throws. Then there was a moment of panic where Green lost a rebound to Jalen Williams, and it turned into an and one. But then Curry hit his dagger to ice the game, likely giving Thunder fans a horrible flashback to that other Curry dagger a few years back. It is crazy to me how all the Warriors had to do over the offseason was let Clay walk and then sign Buddy Hield, and things have completely changed. Obviously there's been some other small things, but I just think the Warriors revamping their bench has been the X factor in their success. Here is what everyone has been saying about this 8-2 start.
It felt good. I mean, I ain't seen that lineup since I think almost like the first or second game of preseason. So a lot of lineup changes, and I think that's what makes it so deadly at the same time, being able to switch lineups up and get out there and play different guys. So I felt great. I felt like, we was able to run out there and get guys open looks too.
Oftentimes when you're talking about depth, you're talking about how deep you can go, and obviously, just the short amount of guys you can play. But the main reason depth is important because if you remember last year, Steph and Steve talking about the lineups and just kind of running out of options of lineups that we can go to. And this year is the total opposite. If we need to go small, we can go small. We need to put a shooting lineup out there, we can put a shooting lineup. We need to put a defensive lineup, we can put a defensive lineup. We need to put a big lineup, we can put a big lineup, and so definitely makes a difference in a night like tonight where, they play 5 guards all night pretty much.
That's really all I got for this video. Thank you all so much if you made it to this point. And if you enjoyed and haven't yet, please be sure to drop a like and subscribe, because your support truly does mean the world. And also, let me know what you would like to see next. And until then, I will see you all later.